to Autonomy CEO Corner. I'm your host, Dennis Dicker. Let's get started, shall we? Let's define the future of work as the ability to be independent while working, be able to set your own hours, be able to receive mentorship, and be able to live a life worth living. Future of Work segment where we discuss how autonomy is offering opportunities for entry-level people looking to earn a living wage or even more, as well as those with careers looking for a career change. All right. You all that are physical therapists, speech therapists, occupational therapists, nurses, behavioral specialists, with a tech-enabled business, you're able to do more. A tech-enabled business helps solve inefficiencies within your business so you can scale. One of the hardest things with brick or mortar stores or businesses where of the past, it's really hard to scale because the right technology was not available at that time. Right? I was fortunate enough to be able to learn about the different types of technologies that are evolving. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get paid to research. And during this time, I was really able to meet many people and really able to test all types of solutions that are out there and use the best ones. The stuff that we're integrating into autonomy is, I would consider, still old technology. It takes time for technology to come to market. Many people are not ready for it, and it does take time. Many features in your phone have been created 10, 20, or even 30 years ago. But again, it takes time for people to be familiar with it. Everyone does not want to be an early adopter. So it's good to try to help from an employer standpoint or from a standpoint or perspective where the person that's using the autonomy application or whatever solution that is, it's offering them some type of value where they can't put the tool down. They need the tool. All right. And so that's what we're looking for within autonomy. Most people are having so many issues with different types of tools that they're using within their phone. There's so many hacks these days. Malware can easily be pushed on your phone. So many things can happen to your data. All right. And it's increasing over time. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard of cybersecurity, cyber threats is real, and within an organization is real as more and more data is accumulating. All right, within the healthcare data that's being accumulated in the autonomy application. The good thing is it's on a HIPAA compliant server, meaning no one has access to it, right? There's only a select few. Me and one other person has direct access to the server where there's a log file of how long the person has been in the server and what they're actually doing. And as far as once you're in the server, your data is encrypted. So as far as the average user or even engineer on our side, it's very unlikely that your data will be used or even shared. All right. So with that said, the tools within the autonomy application, you can really blossom within your business or in your personal life, which is the goal there. And it all starts with training. All right. I have this up here because I would consider just an online training solution. They're saying 94% of caregivers say access to further education is an important consideration in accepting a job offer. Okay? All staff have from the time they download the application before even accepting a job offer within your business, they're seeing the value within autonomy, within the network, within the trainings that are offered. They should be able to see the transparency and the ability to communicate with the care team in a moment's notice if needed. That's really what caregivers want. They want to be involved, they want to be heard, they want to be able to discuss things and resolve and move on. All right. Another line item they say here is despite caregivers' overwhelming interest, 75% of caregivers say their employer has never talked with them about ongoing education or training. And that's because they don't really want them to be more advanced, to be honest. Think about it. If you have an organization that's hard to find staff, why would you help a dedicated staff that's in a position doing extremely well? Why would you help them do better so that they can leave that current position? That's the reason why. That's the reason why most providers do not offer advanced training so their staff can move up in the organization or become more skilled. And to be honest, in home healthcare, you're either a CNA, you can be a DSP. After that, it requires a lot more training, where the training can be done through the autonomy application, through another person, or a certificate where it could be a 6-month training or a 12-month training or associate's degree. Many community colleges we can partner with to help people go to school as well as find work while they're in school. And with your clinical oversight, they can get that real world experience that they can benefit from, say, if they do want to go to that next step, which is their master's, to really make a name for themselves in the healthcare field. And that's the goal here with autonomy and IntelliDAP, the training solution that we started integrating in autonomy way back in late 2014. Okay, so it's almost a full 8 years now, and I would say the hardest part, which we're almost done as far as helping you all create more content, which can eventually become a course or a training. And when I think about why you would need such a solution, it's because as you scale, you want to be able to have all the main recordings or trainings together, so just the minor things can be edited so you can move on. And when you're training staff on an individual support plan, that is where the bottleneck occurs, and that's where you could really get your business in trouble. Say if you have someone that needs 24-hour care, again, that's 3 people per day, 3 people per day working 8-hour shifts, and you could also have people that call out. All right, so if you have 3 people during the week doing 5 days during the week, you can have 2 people on the weekend doing 12-hour shifts. That is 5 people. You don't want to have exactly 5 people. You want to have maybe 8 to 10 people, just in case people call out or even quit. So the goal within the marketplace, the Autonomy Marketplace, is to bring on staff, at least be able to bring on potential staff and make sure that they are trained on the basic organization requirements that your payers require of you. Okay, and that is what you see in the DSP 123. Okay, you have home and community care to teach people about home and community care, principles of intellectual disabilities, supporting individuals with autism spectrum disorder or ASD, behavioral analysis and support. Really understand how your As far as behavioral specialists, what type of data they like to collect. They like to collect sleep charts, how often interventions were used, what types of prompts were used, what types of moods were, what were the moods of the participant during that behavior. This is real important information where you can start collecting it within your quick note and share it later. All right. HIPAA compliance, again, there's so many changes within cybersecurity every year. It is important that staff do complete these trainings with HIPAA compliance at least once a year. Incident management. Each state has different incident management requirements, and our goal is to at least train them broadly on who are the main people when there is an incident, who to talk to, and things like that. Where once that staff person agrees to work for your agency, we can train them further on your specific policy in your state, like that. Okay. Basic CPR and first aid, emergency preparation reporting, first responders, ethical boundaries, where to draw the line when talking with family members. That happens a lot when, again, when you scale, you're unable to be on site all the time. So it's very important that the ethical boundaries is taught to your staff. General fire safety, identifying abuse, neglect, and exploitation. The abuse or neglect may not come from your agency or your staff, but it's also important that they understand how to identify it. Maybe it's happening to that person in their life. Maybe their current living conditions is considered neglect. It's important that you understand what's happening there so you can help that person reach their goals and become more independent. As far as medication administration, you really don't, as far as DSPs, you really don't need to administer meds if it's not a residential program. Most residential programs take care of the medication administration, and that is a whole separate ball game when it comes to supporting someone with disabilities. The good thing is more and more states are allowing these in-house certificate programs to administer medications with the proper oversight. And I believe we are kind of at the forefront where if there's a medication or a potential medication error, we are able to intervene in a timely manner, that 1 hour time frame, so that it does not become a real incident that requires an investigation. What I mean is, okay, say if the staff and client, they're out in the community and they do not have the meds with them, and while out in the community, they it is time at that time to administer medications. We're working on ways to for you as a CEO to be contacted if the distance is too far to get back to the place where the meds are. We're working on ways where we can contact the pharmacy with one or two doses in case you can't get back. There are instances where they can deliver. More and more pharmacies are delivering now. Based on your location, again, there could be additional support so that it does not become a real error that requires investigation. Okay? And as far as DSPs, we want to make sure that they're learning and continuing to learn. We want them to earn their wage. With an increase in pay from you all, we want to make sure they're earning it. So we want to teach them about the different tools in the Autonomy application, but also make sure that they could speak of services as if it's one of their family members, okay? And that is really most important because When I think about how a staff person can talk to a family member or talk to a third party, another organization, where you as a CEO, you don't know who they're talking to. So you want to make sure they have all the tools or are able to communicate with you in a timely fashion if and where needed. Okay? So the future of work, it is helping people um, get upskilled based on their existing skill set without paying too much money like a university or college. Have the mentorship that's needed to really succeed. uh, Not putting staff in situations where they could lose out or waste a lot of their time. I would never want to be a DSP working for a provider where the provider is not communicating with me, not giving me opportunities, not giving me insight on how I'm doing on a week to week basis. I feel like in 2022, it's a waste of time, and you'll see a lot of turnover as a result. All right. So as far as the future of work, let's continue to upskill these DSPs. Let's continue to uh, make more trainings, make more courses, find more ways that they can further train and support someone that's looking for a job and looking to um, cope with their behaviors so that they can be more independent in a home, community, or workplace setting. And with the tools and autonomy, it's very well possible. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you. Please tell everyone about Optonomy.com. For anybody 18 years of age or older, you can earn a living wage by just simply start training today. For clinicians, occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech therapists, behavioral specialists, you can have a work-life balance using Autonomy. Any other solution, you will have administrative staff and you will have the burden of growing your business. With Autonomy, you have a network of clinicians that are also starting this. Thanks for watching, everybody.